Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Priyanshi, welcoming you all again on behalf of Solar Quarter and First Tree Group to the second session of Nepal Solar Week 2022. Hope you had a good time in networking with your peers. Now it's time to start with the second session of the conference. Without any further delay, let's begin with it. Before that, let me see if all the audiences is with me. Please show all the thumbs up, and the excitement level is really amazing. It's great to see all the audiences as excited as me. So, without any further delay, let's get in the panel. And we have in our esteemed panel Mr. Jeevan Bedya from Sunbridge Solar Nepal, who's the moderator for today, Mr. Aniket De from FIMR, Mr. Shubham Gupta from Renargo Developers, Mr. Binod Shrestha from GIZ, and Mr. Santosh Shrestha from Suryodaya Urja. Now, I welcome all the panelists on the screen and requesting Jeevan sir to take the discussion ahead. Jeevan sir, all over to you. Requesting all the speakers to keep their cameras on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priyanshi. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So
Hello.
very good to see you all, and thank you, Solar Week again, for this opportunity of for being a moderator for this session. And the session name is Solar Rooftop Market Outlook and Tech, tech Trends Stepping Rooftop Solar. I think all the esteemed speakers are very experienced in their sector. I hope we will have very fruitful discussion ahead. So, without getting any delay, let's start with conversation. Let's start with our introduction session. So, my name is Jeevan Vaidya, and I represent a company called Sunbridge Solar Nepal, which has been established in 2016. And as of yet, we have installed a lot of solar water pumping system as well as a couple of rooftop systems as well. And I hope in this discussion around, I will be able to share some of my experience as well. Let's start with another introduction from Santosh Sir himself. Santosh Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you, Zivanji. A very good afternoon to you all. I'm Santosh Shrestha, and I'm working as a sales and marketing manager here in Suryodaya Urja. Actually, Suryodaya Urja is a solar PV system integrator here in Nepal, established in 1999. We are in a solar business, be it solar PV pumping, be it rooftop solar system, be it mini grids and microgrids and power plants as well. We have installed about 250,000 solar home systems during this time. We have installed about 15 mini grids and microgrids, and we have completed about 7 megawatts, 7 or let's say 10 megawatts of solar power plants. And I hope to share my experiences in today's program. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh Ji. Let's switch on to Mr. Aniket De. Can you please
Yeah,
introduce?
thank you. See, myself, Paniket De. I am staying in eastern part of India. Basically, I am in Kolkata. I am taking care eastern part of India as well as Nepal and Bangladesh. So I will be handling utility scale as well as rooftop as well as hybrid solution like mini grid and microgrid. Also, it will be my scope only. So I am presenting front ending basically my company. So we have already installed few megawatt project in Nepal, as well as we are discussing with few microgrid projects recently. Hope so we can do some good businesses Nepal. That's it.
Perfect, Aniket.
Yeah.
It will be very good to discuss you, and will be fruitful to listen your experience about the some of the your installation in Nepal as well. So let's hold this for now. Let's go with Binod sir. Binod sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Jibanji, and this is Binod Shrestha. I'm working for GIZ Nepal and working for one of the energy program in Nepal, and particularly GIZ is providing technical support to all three level of government in federal context, particularly working with provincial and local government for renewable energy promotion including all type of renewable energy that Nepal government is promoting. I'm looking forward for a good discussion, and thank you for inviting me as a speaker in this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Binod sir. Uh, let's go with Subham.
Hello, am I
Subham.
audible?
Yep.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Shubham. I'm as a country head for the Renargo Developers Private Limited. So just to give you a brief introduction about the Renargo Developers. So it's a most active developer as an IPP, also as an EPC player and as an O&M player in Nepal throughout the length and breadth of across the Nepal. So coming about, we have in a pipeline of more than 150 megawatt as an IPP and as an EPC also. We have already commissioned two projects, which is one of the like ADB funded project and one is for the Tano 5 megawatt. And doing for the consulting, we have already done more than 2000 megawatt of consulting for the big corporate houses. And thanks for inviting me as a speaker here. Thanks a lot for the solar quarter.
Thank you so much, Subham. I will be looking for Yashdeep Singh. Uh,
Yeah, so from the Yashdeep side, so I apologize. Actually, on the
all
last
right.
minute, he have to catch the flight, so that's why. So he was not available. Yeah, but he would love
Oh,
to actually be the part of the technical part. So
okay,
just to
right.
give you a brief introduction about the Yashdeep. So his personal portfolio is more than this 2000 megawatt regarding the designing across the globe. Okay, and he would love to be a part of the technical. So he's our technical head in design and engineering as a in Renargo Developers.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It's really good introduction session around. So moving on, let's do like this. Let's let's like set some code of conduct for this session. We have already completed the introduction session. It was really good. And moving on, in order to make this session very fruitful and very concentric, let's try to be very specific. And I will be happy and I will be very interested about hearing your experience about the implementation and designing of the project about the solar rooftop, because since the solar rooftop has been a very new technology in Nepal and have very good potential in case of urban part of Nepal. And this discussion will going to be very fruitful for those of the learners as well as the some of the project developers and installers. So we have got some of the questions as well, which we need to discuss within the session. So without delaying more, let's go with those questions. And what we'll do is there are a couple of questions outlined by the organizer. We will be discussing them one by one. So first of all, what we will do is I will give a question to one of the speaker, and he will discuss. He will speak by his own experience. You know? What we'll do is we start with Subham himself. So, Subham, can you please tell me about your with the first question? What are the current tariffs seen in rooftop solar space? If you know about the current tariffs seen in rooftop solar in Nepal, because you have already told that you have done a couple of projects in Nepal as well. So, I think you will be right candidate for this to answer this question. What are the current tariffs seen in the rooftop solar space? How will they evolve further? So,
Uh,
if you know it,
Yeah, sure, sure. Thanks for being the like a first one. So we are talking about the rooftop right now, right, in this session. So well, it has a immerse. So I will give you a brief about the Nepal. So since it's a developing market, okay, and rooftop like so solar is also taking a baby steps right now in the Nepal. Either it is on the utility scale or like in the rooftop segment is just started yet from the last 5 years what I am like seeing for that matter. So it has just started. Coming to the tariff about, so the tariff is like from the last 5 to 10 years what we have done the analysis, it's keep on increasing roughly about 20% in every 5 years or 3 years. And the main point is like coming about this industrial tariff, it's around 8.55 rupees NPR per unit, and in the commercial sector it is very high. So it's around 13 rupees per unit. Commercial sector comes with the like hospital or the stores or the hotels. Okay. So yeah, for the rooftop market, it has a good potential, and people are still realizing, coming to the point, like how the energy saving would be their benefit, because the solar is like they don't give the direct benefits. Okay, so it's like annual savings kind of benefits are going on.
That's really good. Thank you so much. So, uh, do you see some of the fluctuation in regulatory things like so? I can see some of the fluctuations. So, so, if you talk about 2 years ago, the tariff was something like 9 rupees 13 paisa per unit, and currently I think the rooftop rate is like 7.73. Do you know about the data on that?
Can you just please repeat it? Sorry, I just didn't get it.
So I mean, like, so if we see like 5 years ago, the tariff rate was like something like you know um, 30 rupees. So I'm just talking about this net metering thing. So just now you told about the
Oh,
commercial. It is very interesting,
yeah,
right? So 13 rupees per
yeah,
unit is for commercial things, just like hospitals and so on.
yeah.
It's very attractive. So if you go about this industrial thing, if you go about industries, just like go like industrial corridor and all. What I have heard is the industrial tariff rate, electricity tariff rate is something like 6 to 8 rupees. So do you know something about the industrial tariff in Nepal?
No, it's not about the 68 rupees. Just a few, but like just hardly 5% of industries are getting subsidized. Okay, because of like agriculture or something like that. They must be having around 6 to 7 rupees. But other than that, it's on an average of 8.55 at 33 kV. At 66 kV, there are very few industries which have a tariff of 8.1 or 8 rupees. But the tariff is still at the 8.55 only.
All right, that's very interesting. So I will get
And
back to
regarding, you talk
you
about the
again.
net metering also, na? So in net metering, the rate is 7.3. So like NEA will pay you 7.3 rupees, but from last, like from the COVID side, so no, none has been paid at. It has been due. So
Okay, all right. So thank you so much, Subham. That's really
yeah,
interesting. So I will get back to it, others, some of the following questions as well. Let's go with uh, another speaker now. So I'll go with Santosh Ji. So what are the financing options available for rooftop solar projects? I know you guys have been doing a lot of solar projects in Nepal, ranging from microgrid and some of the rooftop solar as well. I think you must know about the some of the financing options that our bank has been providing, and some government options as well. So please tell me what are the financing options available for rooftop solar projects in Nepal? Santosh Ji. Santosh Ji, I think you are muted.
Yeah, thank you, Jivanji. Thank you for the question. Actually, the commercialization of solar rooftop market here in Nepal has just started. So there are very few financing options available for solar rooftop projects in Nepal. Definitely, the first financing model would be RESCO model, which is renewable energy service companies. If we do not have enough capital to buy a solar rooftop system, then we can simply contact solar energy companies. They actually they install a solar rooftop system to your households, and the customer do not have to pay anything for the solar rooftop project. The only thing the customer has to do is to sign a power purchase agreement, which is PPA, with the energy companies, and pay the electricity bill generated from the solar rooftop systems, which varies project to project, but which is in a range of 11 to 12 rupee per unit. And most of the projects done in resco model here in Nepal has a tariff which is lower than any bill, Nepal electricity authority bill. Actually, the energy company is actually charging somewhat 1 to 1.5 rupee lesser than the tariff of Nepal electricity authority. These projects implemented on the RESCO models have the customer have to sign a power purchase agreement for a time of about 10 to 15 years, but it depends upon the negotiation with the customer. And the customer has to pay the bill in a monthly manner, like an installment. So not much hassle to the customer. The ownership of the entire rooftop system lies on the energy service provider company. So it's as simple as leasing a solar power plant at our rooftop. And the next model of financing for the solar rooftop project would be a capex model, which is capital expenditure. If you have enough money in hand or cash in hand, we can simply buy the entire rooftop system and install it in our rooftop. It's simply like buying goods in the market and installing it in our rooftop. So it's very simple, and the cost of the system the cost of the solar rooftop system would be around 95,000 rupee per kilowatt, but it depends upon what quality of goods, what quality of PV modules, what quality of inverters you're installing. But if you have enough cash, then we can simply buy a solar rooftop system and install it in our households. The third financing model would be a public-private partnership model, which is quite complex, but still it's possible. Some customer may have rooftop space available, whereas some may not have enough rooftop space available. So they can partner with the public institutions which have enough space for installing solar PV modules. So in this PPP model, actually the cost as well as the benefit of the solar rooftop system is distributed between the customer and the public the cost of the system as well as the benefits of the system is distributed amongst the partners. One would be the public partner, whereas the another would be the private partners. And there are many banks and financial institutes which are willing to give loans for the solar PV projects. The NMB Bank and Nepal Investment Banks are some of the banks which are providing loans for the solar power projects, rooftop projects as well. And there are government bodies like alternative energy promotion centers, Nepal, the NGOs like projects like NREP, which is Nepal Renewable Energy Project. They are also providing different capital subsidies, the interest subsidies, the generation subsidies, and some loan loss guarantees for the solar rooftop projects. These Under these models, a customer can install solar rooftop projects at their household and get benefited from the renewable energy. Thank you.
Thank you, Santoshi. It's really good. It's really good to hear about such a lot of examples of those financing schemes available in the Nepalese
Yeah,
market. So,
actually, I would like to add up something. Actually,
please go
there
ahead.
are the NREP is actually giving subsidies, like the generation subsidy is up to 1.5 rupee per kilowatt hour or per unit, and they are also providing subsidies. The interest buybacks, interest buyback buy down subsidies, which is the program would pay about 50% of the interest of the loan for the solar rooftop projects. So we can get proper benefits from these projects, from these programs as well.
Yep. I will come up with another following question with you, Santoshi. Definitely. This
Sure,
is
sure.
really helpful, very informative. Thank you so much. So I'll go with Aniket. So Aniket, what are
Yes,
the
sir.
technology breakthroughs in inverter? How they are acting as smart PV solutions? So this is your question, and I think with your experience, I think it will be very informative to get all the information from you.
Yeah, see, inverter, I can remember that when 2010 or 11, the string inverter actually came. That time only inverter will be the that is there is no protection input and output side, means there is no DC side AC side protection available with the inverter. So it is only inverter. But slowly what happened, so people are starting putting protection in the DC side. There is a string combiner box they're putting SPD fuses, and AC side also they are putting protection with some breakers they are connecting. But what we have seen that slowly there will be multiple issues happening in the site because of this wrong chosen material. So safety material may be not right capacity, what as per inverter requirement. Then all manufacturer they have started putting all the protection systems built in with the system. So there is one revolution came from there to this. Then people are thinking that okay, what to do next. Then people are thinking to put all the string monitoring they need. So if you see current string inverter, there will be a string level monitoring available. So individual string current voltage it can inverter can monitor. That also people are not satisfied with that. So they told I want to check module level monitoring. So individual module current voltage we have to check. Then people are coming with the module level monitoring optimizer system came. So each optimizer can give you the details of the module, and as well as there are multiple types of optimizer available in the market. So it can suppose any module having some issues. So it is not due to this issue in the module, your total string voltage drop down. So to segregate that module, balance system can run by helping of the optimizer. As well as people are nowadays thinking about to put a micro inverter, means each and every module below that there will be inverter. So to get maximum output from the PV module. So definitely your generation will increase because if you are using each and every module one inverter, cumulatively there will be very less DC loss in each and every panels. Then there will be a issue in the DC side arcing. If any fire happens, suppose it is a rooftop project, so it may catch fire inside the building also. Due to this, people are introducing rapid shutdown method as well as arc quenching devices through command from the inverter side. And IV carb technology is that also came earlier. Now people are thinking about how to optimize that PID effect. So due to this also new technology is introducing in the market. So inverter started with the upgrade. That means that will be a solar module, charger, and there will be a your load will be there. Now after that on grid came. From on grid to it is goes to hybrid. Hybrid means you can connect 2 3 sources. You can do these things. But hybrid doesn't have any brain. So people are thinking that why hybrid? Then we should put some microgrid system. So people have introduced microgrid system on that. So microgrid can handle all the sources. When source to source transfer, it will be seamless. You will not understand that, your load will not understand that from where supply is coming. So people are thinking that how to reduce the conventional sources, to how to use maximum from the solar or any other renewable sources. So there will be multiple revolution happens in case of inverter development, as well as new things also upcoming. We are expecting some few new technology because efficiency also now is, if you see, it is almost 99%. Okay, so that will be a very good efficiency all inverter manufacturer they are providing now. So these are all the new things, but end of the time you have to see that how much cost will be involved in your project. By calculating generation as well as calculating capex cost, altogether you have to understand that these things is really feasible or not for you, and what is the payback time for the total project. So now every kind of systems available, inverters are available, technologies are available. Now your duty to optimize it and your duty to extract maximum power from the PV plant. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Aniket. So, uh, thank you so much for it's really informative. So, I have one question regarding this
Yeah.
microinverter string inverter and central inverter. So can you please, so since all of us are from very technical background, and I love to hear something about this micro inverter, string inverter, and central inverter, and their price ranges.
Definitely, micro inverter will be if you give you more generation. Okay, but you have to know the application of the project. Suppose you are doing a very small rooftop project, so then you should not go with central inverter, because central inverter capacity will start from 1 megawatt and above. When there is a utility scale project, we are talking to customer to go with central inverter. String inverter having multiple MPPTs. So multiple MPPT purpose is like that. Whenever you are having different orientation of the module, then you can take each and every MPPT will act as a independent MPPT. So you will not lose any generation due to this different orientation, because you are having multiple MPPT in the module. But when you are coming to a megawatt project, suppose there is a flat land available, your module orientation is same. If you are using single MPPT or multiple MPPT, matter doesn't matters. All times it will be same only. That's the reason central inverter doesn't have more than one MPPT. It's a single MPPT only. We are recommending all the customers, when they are going with a flat land and you are going to connect with a 11 or 33 kV line, better to go with central inverter, because if you put string inverter, you can put. We also have the string inverters. We are also offering to our customers string inverters. But controlling of the string inverter, it will be very, very difficult, because apart from generation, there will be multiple grid stability things will be there. Depend on the grid requirement, you have to give a command to the inverter. Inverter has to operate accordingly. That time it is very difficult, because the nearest inverter will get signal fast, and the farthest inverter it will get delay in signal. So due to this, it will take some time. Third thing is that regarding my string inverter, if it is a rooftop project, we are always recommending to go with string inverter. We should not go with any string central inverter for that, because there will be huge DC losses will be there. So this is the three things I can tell you. You can consider depend on the requirement of the site. Micro inverter, and cost wise, definitely micro will be more expensive compared to string inverter. String will be more expensive than central inverter.
All right. Thank you so much, Aniket.
Yeah, thank you.
Very helpful. So, Subham, you would like to something about the central inverter? So, since it's very new to us as well, it will be very interesting for us as well to learn about this central inverter.
Yeah,
Subham,
thanks.
please tell me something
Yeah,
about.
so I would just like to add on that part. So we are working on the technology called as CDI, Central Distributed Inverter. Okay, anyhow, on the for the rooftop, the inverter installation will be on the ground stage only, on the ground floor. Okay, and CDI comes with the multi MPPT channels. Okay, since the string inverters will be used, multiple string inverters will be used. Okay, so like I would likely personally to add on, like if we use the CDI, it has a multi MPPT, and then it will reduce the mismatch losses and maximize the generation also. And over that, like it's a single central inverter, so it will reduce the AC losses also. And a few tier 1 companies which are coming up with the new further technology, adding the NTPID and all, and removing that arc thing also for the CDI. So definitely we should bring the new technologies for the rooftop sector, so that the growth can be done.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, Subham.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. So we definitely will discuss more about this micro inverter, string inverter, and central inverter, because it's again my personal interest as well. Since we are very new to this rooftop solar, and it's thank you so much. So
Yeah, thanks a
moving on
lot.
with Binod sir. Binod sir.
Yes, Jivanji.
So Binod sir is my senior as well. So he's my senior colleague, and he has been working about this regulatory thing since a long time. And I think he will be a right candidate for us to explain about the regulatory support about from the government in Nepal solar industry. So Binod sir, can you please tell me what regulatory support is currently offered by government to the Nepal solar industry? I think you have very good experience about this, and I think really very you are a right candidate for answering this question.
Thank you, Jivanji. Actually, all the speakers mentioned about the potential and the sector is growing. And after the federal context in Nepal, the sector is now the responsibility of different government has changed, and they're very eager to support the sector as well, and particularly solar, and they're interested in this rooftop solar as well. As I have been working with the provincial and local government mostly, and the provincial government are also very interested in the rooftop solar, and then we have been exchanging dialogue with them how they can support, how they can promote rooftop solar in their provinces, because we have in 7 provinces. Different provinces have their different interest, their capacity, different challenges they have. So at the moment, from the provincial government perspective, the capacity of the provincial government is, I would say, negligible in terms of the renewable energy sector, and particularly if we talk about the rooftop solar. So at the moment, in the provincial level, there is no any policy as such, because there is a one section who is looking after hydropower, other monitoring, licensing, and renewable energy. That's why we are helping the provincial government to conduct organization management surveys, so to establish a dedicated unit or section or division or whatever they want to set up in a provincial level, so which is in the process. But in parallelly, we are supporting them with different guideline formulation, manual preparation for this solar particularly, right? And based on my discussion with the provincial government, so they're interested in particular in province one, and they're looking for some sort of a policy, licensing, monitoring, quality control uh, aspect has to be addressed to set up and to promote the at the provincial level. So still we are working on that. We as of today we just drafted a draft policy, renewable energy policy, but still it's a model policy. It's not a policy for the dedicated of provinces what they wanted to do. But based on that, they can use this model policy to build on that and develop a different promotional activity or the guidelines or manual or statutory requirement from their perspective. So still it's we are in a very primitive stage, and we're working that, and it's all depends on the individual, or also at the government level who leads and who is there, because in most of the provinces who is looking after this energy sector, they are not from the energy background. That is the main problem. So then it's we need to start from the scratch to explain them from the energy and renewable energy. So things are moving. So basically, it's required from the licensing perspective, from their subsidy policy, if they want to promote in that way, because it's a very growing sector, and then they want to promote. And from regulatory perspective, from quality perspective, these are some of the things. From licensing perspective, they have to look into to promote the rooftop solar, particularly in the provinces sector. But if you see 6 7 years or 9 10 years back, federal government, or there is a Central Renewable Energy Fund under the AEPC, they try to promote this rooftop solar through the subsidy, and they provided financing only in a 2% or 3%. So at that time also, I hope you are from your company at the time also you promoted some of the rooftop solar, and lots of, and at that time there was a huge load shedding also. Lots of not only corporate houses, only the individual household also installed some of the rooftop solar at that time. So promoted at that time, but still we are facing some challenges and problem, and the market is very primitive state. So still a lot of things to be done in the regulatory and policy sector, I see.
That's really good to learn about it, Vinod sir. So, do you see any conflicts about regarding this regulation thing between federal and provincial government? Since I know you have been closely working with this provincial government these days, and do you see or do you know some conflicts regarding this regulatory bodies about this federal and provincial guidelines or regulations?
Definitely. Works. Yeah, definitely. As I'm working with the federal government and then the provincial government as well, and I used to say, because of the federal context, we are still in the transition phase. It's not fully federalized, and there are lots of confusion about the roles and responsibility of the different government, all three levels of government. And if you see from the federal government, still they are holding their power. They are not devoluted the power to provincial or local government. So still, at the moment, the federal government policy, federal government regulation are prevail there, right? Still that, because of the lack of policy regulation guideline at the uh, provincial level. So there is a clear confusion at the moment because our constitution provided clear roles and responsibility, but that is not practiced as of today because of this unclarity, confusion sort of thing. So still that is going on. So still, I see there is a confusion, there is a lack of clarity, there is a conflict still. The who handles how many megawatt, which capacity, still there is a discussion is going on. It's slow, continuously it's changing also. So at the moment, if provincial government they want to do anything in the rooftop solar, they refer some of the guidelines and they refer some of the policy regulatory requirement of the federal government, and they want to try to revise or try to redefine their based on their roles and responsibility and the authority. So there is a federal government don't want to give away their power. They still want to hold that, and there is some sort of a conflict type of situation because of unclarity sort of thing. Still, this is the status quo situation at the moment.
That's good to know about that, Vinod sir. So I will come back with you some of the follow-up questions. Thank you so much for now. So let's go with another question for now.
You are muted.
Jivinji, you are on mute.
It has been muted. Sorry. Let's go with another question. So I was planning to ask about this module technology with YesTip. So unfortunately, YesTip is not with us. So what is the most widely adopted module technology and what technology advancements will be seen in this year? So this was actually my plan was to ask this question with YesTip. So Subham or Aniket, do you have any idea? Because you guys has been installing a lot of solar installations in your place as well as in Nepal. So, Subham, I want to take help from you. Uh, so do you have, can you help me answering this question? What is the most widely adopted module technology, and what technology advancements will be seen this year?
Yeah, sure, sure. So I will just throw a brief light over that thing, and definitely Yashdeep would be much better person to provide the detailed analysis over that thing. So the point is, like, for the rooftop. So there are two kinds of rooftop. One is for the shed part, which have a rooftop shed, and another is on a concrete surface. Okay. So in both the parts, there's a different kind of technology which usually works. Okay. So for the concrete, the bifacial module works on like both the sides. Definitely the generation can be there, and from the bottom side the hard surface will reflect over the generation, and it can increase the generation by 10 to 15%. Okay, so this technology we are already using over the land based also, and we are the first one to use that kind of technology over our Nepalganj project for the 10 megawatt. And for the rooftop, for the shed part, we can use the half cut modules, in which the modules are divided into two parts. If a part of the module is under the shadow, because for the rooftop you don't have that kind of freedom to get the particular tilt or avoid the particular shadows, okay, so much in the land which we have. So for the half module will definitely work in that matter. So generally right now poly is already obsolete, And the new technology which is there current in the market, which is commercially proven also and bankable, it's monofacial or monoperk, which is available right now for the shed part. And for the concrete part, definitely we can go with the bifacial. Bifacial is already recommended because there's a hardly like a price difference in between. So, and for coming about the size of the panel, so the point is right now 650, 665 watt peak panel is also already there in the market. And I guess soon within 6 months or 3 to 3 months in the down the line, we will receive more than 700 watt peak panel also from the tier one.
It's good to know, Subham. Thank you so much. So,
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I would like to know more about this bifacial panel. So, because bifacial panel is very new to us in Nepal, and
Yeah.
personally, we have installed bifacial panel in some of the our installation sites, and the performance is really good um, of those bifacial panel than those monoperk as well. So, can you please tell something about this bifacial panel? What will be its efficiency, and what will be the difference between generation between this bifacial and other type of solar panel?
Yeah, definitely. So bifacial comes in two types. One is like a glass one. Okay, it's a glass sheet completely, double glass. There's no back sheet kind of thing. Just the transparent glass is there. So the one is the front side, another one is the bottom side. In bottom side, definitely the sunlight is not received directly. It is reflected by the like whatever the ground reflects. Okay, and that kind of it will capture the light. So to make it like more larger capture, what we usually do is like on the concrete surface we paint it with the white, so that most of the light is reflected from the concrete surface on the back side, and then the generation is increased. Another panel is in which we have a back sheet, and the solar film is pasted over the back sheet, and the front will work as monofacial works. And so as compared to the monoperk or the monofacial, around 10 to 15% generation is increased in the bifacial. So down the line, like 25 years, it's a benefit of 10 to 15% annually. Okay. So yeah, monofacial is a simple module like we usually work.
Yeah, that's really huge. 10 to 20%.
Yeah, 10 to
Additional
15%. So
generation
yeah,
is really huge.
no, no, exactly, exactly. So the point is like this we cannot install over the shed part, because in the shed the clearance is very low, and it needs roughly about 500 or like roughly about point 0.7, like 750 kind of clearance, because the reflection should come. So that's why. So this is
Yeah.
especially for the concrete surface.
So, Shubham, I think it's pretty clear. So, since generation is 10 to 20% additional, higher than of those other type of solar panels.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea in terms of price range, how expensive are they?
Okay,
Bifacial
so
panels.
price, yeah, okay. So right now already the module prices are all time high, and compared to the monopark, it depends on the company to company. If I talk about the top three tier one companies, okay,
Mhm.
I won't be mentioning the name obviously open in the open forum, but the price would be roughly about 10-15% increase that as compared to the monofacial. That is like one time price, and you will be getting the benefits definitely throughout the 25 years. So.
So then definitely bifacial panels are
Yeah, if you
recommended
talk
to
about
use.
the life cycle cost benefit analysis, definitely the
Exactly.
bifacial should be, yeah, exactly the
That's
choice.
really good. So
Yeah.
this is my personal question to you because I have been, looking for some of the reasons. So these days, solar module manufacturers have been manufacturing solar panels which are higher than 500 watt peak only, right? So if you go with asking for solar panels having capacity lower than 300 watt or less than 400 watt, it's rarely available with some of the top ranked solar panels. So
Yeah, exactly.
what could be the reason that these days solar module manufacturers are manufacturing the solar panel which are only higher than 500 watt peak?
Okay.
And what is
So
the
the
disadvantage as well?
yeah, exactly. The main advantage is like with the bigger rating of the panels, mostly within the 1 by 2 meter square area. you will be saving the space, and in that space you can install more. Okay. And the point is like, everybody is going forward above the 500 watt peak. So right now the bifacial technology which is commercially available, it's more than 650 watt peak, and we are already installing the 650 watt peak bifacial module, that's with double glass. And soon it will be increased to 700 watt peak itself. The point is like, to save the land part also, since the land scarcity is already there in the Nepal also. So let's save the land and we can increase the capacity by it.
Yeah, that's really interesting to know. I'll come back with you, Subham, again.
Yeah, sure.
So let's go with another question now. So since we have a couple of more questions, questions are there. Um, so next question we do have is how technology affects the project performance and what are expectations of project owners from OEM and service providers. Aniket, can you please help me with this? How technology affects the project performance and what are expectations of project owners from OEM and service providers?
Uh, so project owner always they want minimum downtime of the plant. That is the majorly majority of the system, majority of the developer they are thinking like that. Okay, definitely there will be some downtime because of see solar. Basically, it will be there is no movable item available in the solar project module. There is very less maintenance. Only cleaning is required. Apart from that, there is a part is the inverter. After inverter, there will be switch gear and other things. We have seen that if you are doing earthing properly for any solar project, your 90% problem will be sort out. And any project, if you see the fault, maximum fault will come from the grid side, not from the DC side. It may be lightning surge, it may be some other issues from the line side only. So if you want to minimize the issues, so you have to go with a proper protections first, as well as quality also, big things on that. Now you are talking about 25 years project life. So 25 years project life means you have to choose the product such like that it should run 25 years. Now, although there's a big question mark here also, that how people will give support for 25 years, because every day people are changing their products. So today, if you are taking thinking that 300 watt peak or 200 watt peak module, it is obsolete. You don't have any choice also to get that module back if you are having issues with the existing plant. There will be challenges definitely. So you have to think that where you can get more sustainability of the product, more reliable product, where very less downtime will be there, because in project there will be two costs, one is capex, one is opex, and both costs are vice versa. If you save capex, definitely you have to invest more on opex. So that is this is thumb rule, you cannot, nobody can change that one. So definitely there will be a challenge in the tariff also. Okay, I understood. And in for case of rooftop solar, I can tell you, because till date all inverter are 1000 volt inverter. There is no 1500 volt inverter available, because your grid, your connection will be 415 volt. You cannot put very big higher module in rooftop project, because there will be certain limitation of the inverter also. So when you are going for a rooftop project, you should be very crucial on that, to understand what kind of components you are going to choose, what is the short circuit current of the inverter. When you are going for a utility scale project, then total scenario will be different, because lot of big things available in the market. But rooftop means it will be small project, it may be industrial project, maybe 500 kilowatt, 1 megawatt. Nepal, I don't feel so, more than 2 3 megawatt rooftop is available, individual I'm talking. Maximum people they are considering maybe 150 20 kilowatt project. So there, if you cannot go with a very high capacity panel on that bifacial, and because bifacial you cannot mount it in the roof. Okay, so there will be a lot of limitation available with the rooftop project. So developer definitely they will be thinking that capex, as well as they have to think on the opex also. So if they think only capex, then definitely they have to lose something on opex. That much I can tell.
Good on Aniket. So,
Yeah.
do you have any experience of getting some faulty solar panels from manufacturers, and getting replacement of them, because since we every one of
Uh,
us, we know that solar panel does have warranty of 25 years, and in some span of time there will be there may be some of the faulty inverters. So do you have some experience of such? I mean, some
See,
panels getting defect
definitely
and
there will be multiple things. There will be a issue with the module manufacturer. There will be issue with the inverter manufacturer because market is very very challenging on the price point of view. Today, some companies there may not be tomorrow there. Okay, so warranty and all it will very very critical for any solar project because this is the only site where people are asking so much big warranty periods. Apart from any other things, I can tell you. If you go with any conventional thermal plant compared to solar project, okay, so their thinking will be something different. Here it will be something different because solar is I cannot tell it is a main source. I can tell it additional source. It cannot absolute everything. Okay, if you put solar, you can cut down use of thermal and coal. We have seen multiple things in the market. Definitely, we have retrofitted few projects also in inverter because
Mhm.
I don't know about modules. We are not module manufacturers, but yes, there will be a thing because today whatever poly module people are want to replace, they cannot replace it. They have to go with mono only. Okay, so there will be challenges. That
Yeah,
much I can tell.
we have also got some of the experience of that as well.
Yes.
So, Subham would like to add something about this capacity involved in this industry sector. Subham, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So, hello. Am I audible?
Subham,
Yeah, audible, audible.
Subham.
Yeah, sure. So, like, I'd like to add the point is like few tier one like inverter companies, they already have the
Subham,
especially like commercial
you
and
would like to
industry
add something
segment.
about this inverter capacity for industry sector?
Hello. Yeah, sorry.
You're audible. You're audible.
Yeah, I guess there's an internet issue with the Jivanji.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, Shubham.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I would like to add over that thing. So most of the tier one companies of the inverter, they already have a C&I separate segment, which is already working under the 1500 volt as compared to the like module itself. And they are offering like multiple AC output voltage as per the like industry requirement. Either it is 400, 415, 450 also, and 600, 660 also. Even the 800 volt string inverters are also coming. So I guess like for the especially for the commercial and industry sectors, it's a boom. Like right now the Nepal market is like starting yet, but in India and across the like Europe, if we talk about, it's already boom. And more than I guess 20 gigawatt has already been installed in India regarding the rooftop itself. So that's why, so the technology has already been proven and bankable in that case.
Yeah, no, no, Subham, what I'm talking, you are correct,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm
yeah,
talking about that rooftop project. Rooftop means your home electricity supply will be 415 volt. If you
yeah.
choose 460 or 480 or 800, you cannot connect there.
No, no, I totally agree. So that's why there are different type of
Utility scale,
segments which
same thing I'm telling
available.
you. Utility scale, you can put it,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
For the residential, definitely. So 220 is also coming. For the commercial, 415 is also coming. And for
yeah.
the industrial sector also, 415 is also there, 600 is also there. So there are lot of type of inverters which we can definitely select.
Yes, we also have. We also have all the inverters,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
yes, I think Jivanji,
I think we lost Jivanji because of the internet connection. So
Uh,
just to
Binod sir, can you take it ahead by the time Jeevan sir is trying to reconnect? Can you take the further questions with
okay,
other panelists?
okay. Yeah, just because Aniket and Shivam, you have been working in Nepal for quite some time. I know the market as well. So what are the challenges do you see in the Nepalese market for the rooftop solar, particularly to take it up? So Aniket and Shubham, it's
yeah.
both of you this question to you.
So Nepal actually, I think they are very new in this rooftop market. Where net metering facility they are introducing now. Okay, I can tell you recently they have only introduced the rooftop market net metering system. Previously, solar is there, net metering facility they have not introduced earlier. So now rooftop market, Nepal is planning to boom it. So whenever you are going to connect with the on-grid system, definitely net metering facility should be available. Otherwise, the developer will not be benefited on that. You cannot sell the power to the
And
grid basically. You cannot minimize your electricity bill by putting the solar. And one more challenge is there. See, when you are going to put a grid connected system, first criteria you should check the grid first. Availability of the grid, quality of the grid is the most important thing. Availability, because grid connected will work when grid is available. When grid is not available, this grid connected system will not work. As well as when there is a
Aniket,
voltage tolerance. Yeah.
yeah, Aniket, would you like to add something? Or
Yes.
Santoshji? Yeah, please go ahead,
Yeah,
Aniket. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So whenever you are going for a rooftop project, so you have to check the voltage tolerance also, because if I have seen few cases in Nepal, their voltage level is very low. Grid is available, but each and every inverter having some voltage tolerance. So below that,
Mm-hmm.
it will generate more harmonic. So inverter will not allow to connect with the grid.
Okay.
So these are the few
Yeah,
challenges will be
Santoshji,
there.
would you like? Yeah,
yeah,
thank you. So, Santoshji, would you like to add something from Nepal's perspective, as you have been working in this sector for
yeah.
quite some time?
Yeah, there are technical issues as well as there are some of the non-technical issues which is related with the Nepal electricity authority itself. Since there are we have to for the rooftop project, definitely we need to have a proper PPA system with the NEA itself. So the rate in which the NEA is now giving to the developers or to the clients is quite low, and the NA has just followed the footstep of Indian power authorities, or the trend of India. Since the situation here in Nepal and that in India is very different. They have a very excess of energy, solar energy. They have actually produced megawatts and gigawatts of solar energy within short span of time. But the Nepal Electricity Authority has proposed a reverse auction for the developers, so that we have to reversely bid for the tariff which we have produced. So there are some things. These are the major challenge in which the developers or any investors is going to think twice, because if they are investing on something, then the security of the investment, the durability, the continuity of the business, the rooftop business with government of Nepal is something which I would like to add along with the technical issues. And in addition to the technical issues kept by Aniket ji, there are the transmission and distribution lines around the major cities of Nepal is not that good that it could handle immediate boom of rooftop technologies, because the quality of transformers, the quality of the transmission and distribution lines, uh, those things we need to be also considered immediately. So we have in order to what we say we harvest the developing these rooftop technology in Nepal.
Okay, thank you, Santoshji. Jivanji, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm back. I got disconnected for a while.
Okay, well, you can take it up from here, but I have one small follow-up question for the other colleagues, because when we talk about the net metering, it is net metering or is it net billing?
Please go ahead, sir.
It's a
Please
net
go ahead.
metering actually. Yeah. So
Okay, Jivanji, you can take it up.
that's the actual case. So in India, few many of the states do the net billing. Whatever the price they are procuring from the utility, they just cancel it out in that case. But here the net metering is there, and I totally agree with Aniket ji, and yeah, that the point is like still like the net metering is already done. Everything is already set from the NEA side. But the point is like the regulations, because This net metering, the pending payment is from the last 1.5 year, which doesn't provide the confidence to the stakeholders, okay, for the installation. And this should be the benefit for the grid also, and like for the rooftop owners also. Another point is clarity on the subsidies, like whatever subsidies like which we have discussed about, or whatever the benefits. There is no particular clarity, like, or a single window clearance for that special matter, like how to proceed with that and all. So these things should be definitely done.
Okay, over to you, Jivanji.
Thank you so much, Binu sir. Thank you so much for taking care of during my disconnections. So we have got 3 more minutes, and we have some questions in our chat box as well. So before within these 3 minutes, I've got a final questions. Final question here. It's regarding rooftop solar plus storage. Uh, Santosh Ji, I would like to take your help for answering this question. So, do you know this storage plus rooftop solar, is it feasible in Nepal? And do you have some experience on that? Very quickly.
Uh, uh, I think we need to answer this. We need to see this question in two ways: in economical as well as in technical way. Technically, definitely the solar rooftop system with storage system is definitely feasible and can be done. But the cost wise, definitely the cost wise, if you add up batteries and storage system, not only the cost is increased, it similarly the complexity of the system also increases. And the regulation of the rules and regulation of the PV system with storage facility, the PPA agreement with storage system is changing very fast. They're just revising the technical parameters for enabling the storage system to the PPA agreement. So there is another thing with the regulatory issue for the storage system. Uh, some systems back in we have implemented the CIA this CIA system about half a megawatt with the storage system about 6 years back. Definitely the system is running in a smooth condition, but uh, technically there are the downtime of the PV systems, the rooftop systems with storage system comparatively to those with out storage system. The rooftop system without the storage system have a very less downtime as compared to that with the storage system. So technically speaking, the market forward may not be the solar PV system with storage system, but definitely it will be the rooftop system without the storage system, because it would be cheap, it would be less complicated, and it can be copied in a very flexible manner.
Thank you so much, Santosh Ji. I think we are running out of time. It's already 5:14, and we have just only 1 minute to go ahead. There are few questions in the chat box. I think those questions can be asked personally with our speakers. Please kindly share your email address and some of the WhatsApp or Vibers. We can
Yes.
answer them accordingly. Thank you, Priyanshi. Over to you.
So this question is for Shubham sir specifically. I would request him to answer this.
Okay. Uh, well, I've already commented on that. Let's take it as a, so thanks for the one-on-one question, but let's take it on a one-on-one platform for this matter, because it depends, like what's the rating of the industry, because in India we used to have triple A plus, double A, then triple A minus. So it all depends on the what kind of rating these companies are having, what kind of bank guarantees they are having. So what kind of tariff, it usually depends on the customer to customer. Okay, but definitely it will be lower than the NEA. So
Okay. We'll move on to the next question. Who would like to take this up?
Through uptake of solar rooftop challenges. I think we have already discussed about the challenges of the solar rooftop projects earlier.
Okay, great. So we'll take the next question.
Yeah, I can tell because PID is not a big problem for rooftop project definitely, but over a period of longer time, definitely there will be a losses.
Sir, would you like to elaborate more on the same?
No, no, that's okay because
Okay.
this is a big thing for PID to explain.
This
Yeah,
is the next.
for yes.
Yes, Santosh, sir, you can add on that.
Yeah, for a smaller system and for a residential system, the PID, the potentially induced degradation, may not be a major problem. But for a industry scale, for a large scale power plants, the PID definitely will generate more losses and instability in the grid itself. So definitely, in a long run, for a large scale projects, the PID is a major issue we have to deal with. Yeah, that's I would like to add.
Thank you, sir. So next question has been displayed on the screen. Who would like to take this up? Binod, sir? Any comments on the question?
Actually, this is not a question.
Okay. So this is the last one which I'm displaying. Anyone would like to comment on this?
Since, shall I?
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Since the Nepalese market is actually it's a premature market. We are not matured yet because the regulations are just floated and not many utility scale rooftop projects that has been successfully implemented for a long duration of time. So the financing model basically in early stage of any projects, the subsidy based financing model is the one that works very positively or that have very good output. So out in my view, I would say at this point of time when the Nepalese rooftop market, particularly rooftop market, where there are lots of uncertainties, where there are lots of regulatory issues, where there are lots of hassle with NEA itself for the approval of net metering and so on, and also the tariff, the very fluctuating tariff, the due of the due from the generation of electricity to be taken from NEA. So these all things scenarios adds of in a financing model in which the subsidies has to be provided, be it a viability gap or capital expenditure subsidy. Such subsidy mechanism would not only strengthen the developers, but it also will help any customers or any investors to plunge into the newly developing solar rooftop market in Nepal.
Thank you so much, sir. So I would like all the speakers to kindly give their closing remarks and we'll wrap up the session. Jeevan, sir, you can start with your closing remarks. Jeevan, sir, are you here with us? No problem. Aniket, sir, you can give your closing remarks for the event.
Thank you. I can tell. Hope so. Again, you will organize this kind of events near future. I hope next year
Sure.
it will be same thing will be organized. And I'll
Yes.
thank all the participants to join with us for the beautiful events. We'll catch up any questions, anything. You can come to us separately. We'll definitely give a proper answer on that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jeevan, sir, you can give your closing remarks. I believe Jeevan sir is facing some technical errors. We'll move forward to Binod sir.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Actually, for the rooftop solar market in Nepal, it's growing slowly, and there is lots of challenges and lots of policy gaps are there. So, government has to come up with lots of policy intervention to promote this rooftop solar in market. And at the end, thank you for inviting me as a speaker in this program, and I'm very happy and I love to attend. And it's a very good platform to learn and exchange the ideas. Thank
That's
you.
great to know, sir. Thank you so much. Santosh sir, please give your closing remarks.
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for inviting in this very immense opportunity to share our experience with other colleagues and the other listeners or other participants. Uh, Actually, the solar PV technology is something which is changing very fast. Be it they came from the string inverters, the microgrid inverters, the central inverters, and the panel also they are evolving very fast. The efficiency of a panel is also increasing very fast. So the technology wise, the whole solar market in Nepal, the industry, the rooftop industries and solar industry in Nepal is just developing. So we need to incubate. We need to share a lot of experience with the leaders from India, which where they have immensely developed the capacities in installation of solar PV systems. So these sort of events will definitely help not only the participants but to all the speakers to know about the new and latest technologies in inverters and PV modules. So it will help in the Nepali solar industry. So thank you for this wonderful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure to have you, and we'll keep to conduct such kind of events. Shubham, sir, over to you. Please give your closing remarks.
Yeah, hi. Thanks Solar Quarter for being like for inviting me as a speaker. Okay, and so yeah, definitely as Santoshji said, so it's like a baby steps which market is taking in the Nepal right now in the land itself, and rooftop is like it just started yet. I hope that like whatever discussions we had, and it will just improve the regulatory regimes, and the more subsidies or more clarity will be given for the betterment of the industrial sector also and the commercial sector also in terms of the solar energy. Since Nepal is just dependent on the hydro, so it's much better actually to have some kind of energy mix for the being an energy independent on case. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, all the panelists and attendees, for extending their immense support. And special thanks to Jeevan, sir, for an excellent job as a moderator. And thank you, all the panelists, to contributing to the success of this session. But the show is not over yet. We are having the most awaited part of the day, that is the Gala Awards of Nepal Solar Week. With this, I am handing it over to Geeta. Till then, bye from my end and thank you. Take care and stay tuned. Thank you.